welcome back. I hope all is well. We have a few gremlins again. I would actually like to blame it on the gremlins, but me being me, I didn't have a mic on. So I'm ready to go, speaking away, no mic. So I have now got my mic on, so welcome everybody. Oh, it's a fun day at Stamps By Me every single day, let me tell you. So welcome everybody. If you are brand new to our channel, welcome. It's a great place to be. We have lots of fun. We don't always get it right. We do our utmost best to give you lots of inspiration and get your creative juices going again if you've maybe lost your mojo. This channel is not a hard sell. All you need to do is come and watch, get some inspiration, use the products you have in your stash at home. You know, don't worry about it. You don't have to buy the products here. If you do like them, that's amazing. All you need to do is pop onto the website and pop FBL into the search engine, and everything I've used over the course of so many weeks now is there, readily available for you, so you haven't got to search around for it. But again, if you don't want the products, that's fine. Search through your stash. You've probably got something in your stash, if you're anything like me, that will work with the techniques we show here in studio. So for those of you who don't know who I am, my name is Toni Darroch and I'm a guest presenter over on Create and Craft. And it's such a lovely place to be, work, the inspiration, everything about Create and Craft is fabulous in my opinion. And you know, if you are brand new to crafting or maybe been crafting for many years, there is always something on that channel that will inspire you. It might not be me, it might not be somebody else, somebody on that channel will inspire you at some point. So I do encourage you all to tune in if you can. In today's studio, we are going to be using the lovely stamp, the Beautiful Birthdays that we launched on Monday. And you've just seen the quick video of the show from Monday, so I could quickly get my mic on. So if you did miss the show, don't worry about it. You can pop onto YouTube, it never goes away, and you can watch the show live. But if you just want to watch the 1 minute 30, a sped up version, because you're confident in what you're doing, then you can also do that as well. In today's studio, we are going to use the Beautiful Birthday stamp and die. It is still available, and we also have the stamp available in case you don't want the die, but it's over on our website. And I'm going to use a couple of other things in with today's demos. So if you have purchased it, sit tight, it's on its way to you. You'll be able to play quite soon. If you are on our Eureka fan page, brilliant. Make sure you share your makes. If you're not on there, you do need to get on there because it's a wealth of knowledge, inspiration, and again, the design team are at hand all of the time to help you. Maybe if you're struggling with your colouring, your matte and layering, anything it might be. Everybody likes to help everybody. It's amazing. Couple of things to quickly tell you about. I'm live on Create and Craft on Monday. Get your pens out at 10 o'clock, 3 o'clock and 8 o'clock with a brand new launch. If you do want to see what's in the show ahead of time, you need to tune into Facebook at 1 PM on Friday. This is when I'm going to give you a sneak peek as to what the design team have been up to and what we've been creating. I'm super excited about this one. I can always tell when the design team have loved something because the samples that I get back are like, I don't need these many samples, but they've not been able to stop making cards. So I know it's going to be a good one. Also, the second amazing thing I need to tell you about is tomorrow, Claire is here live, her first ever live studio on her own at 3 o'clock. So please tune in, guys, show some encouragement. You know, she's a small brand, she's a small company, which is just on the brink of, you know, blossoming. It's lovely to see. And I do encourage smaller companies, albeit I'm still small myself. I do encourage the people that show willing and, you know, have got true grit to grab the crafting industry by storm, and Claire's actually got that. So show some encouragement tomorrow by tuning in at 3 o'clock. She's got a brand new product launching and it's amazing. So let's get down to what you've all come to see, which is some lovely demonstrations. So in today's demo, on the first one, I'm going to use this one here, which is a Beautiful Birthdays. This is the one I launched on Monday. Lots of you have bought this one, so thank you very much. But I knew, I had an idea this one would be popular just simply because when we did our Beautiful Inside and Out, you all loved that one too. And because that's now a retired stamp, we were repeatedly asked, can you do another one? Can you do another one? So we decided to do this one, and it's been just as successful, which is amazing. And I'm also going to be using the Just the Right Elements foliage, which we launched a few weeks ago. So probably a lot of you have already got this one too. So you know that you can cross-pollinate and put them together and create something amazing. So we're going to create 2 cards today, completely different to the ones we did on Monday and completely different to each other today. So what I'm going to do first off is I'm just going to grab what I've done ahead of time, because obviously we are pressed for time. So I do try and do the things that I think people are able to do alone at home, but I do try and show the things that I think people might need a little bit of encouragement doing. So on here I have a top folding 8x8 card, and I've matte and layered it with the graphite, the pink blush from your Essentials cardstock, glitter cardstock. I know a lot of you have got this as well, so well done, and the feedback's been amazing. So the colours are stunning. So it's going to be one of those glitter cards that you put your hands on all the time, because it's so affordable, you know, you're not scared to cut into it. So I have this piece of white cardstock, and this white cardstock is the same size as this piece underneath, and it will come to fruition as to what I'm going to do. So first off, we'll set this one aside and we'll use this piece of cardstock here. So I'm just going to grab my plates from a cut and boss. I use a cut and boss. This die will go through your snap, so if you've only got a snap, the die still goes through the machine. So what I have is the outline of the head, okay, and I'm just going to pop this right in the centre here. So best I can, you know, I'm not too precious about centimetres this side, centimetres that side. As long as it looks okay by eye, I think it's good to go. So we'll go a little higher, maybe go there. So I'm just going to secure that down with some low tack tape, and I'm just going to run this through the machine. And what that will do is it will create an aperture in this piece of white card. Can you believe I started the show without a mic on, everybody? Just shows you what kind of day we've been having at Stamps by Me. We are spinning lots of plates, so I think I'm allowed to get away with it every now and then. Not all the time though. So here we have head look, and I can pop that out, and we can save that if we want to do something later. We can actually use it in this demo, but I'm going to show you an alternative way to maybe use your stamp and die combos. So I'm just going to set that aside, and this is the part that matters. So make sure your tape is low tack, because it's this piece of the card that you are going to see and you wouldn't want to tear it. So we have our lovely aperture in there, look. So I'll just move this one out of the way. And we'll just bring this piece of card, I'll just move this out of the way so I can just show you what I'm trying to achieve. So this is our card blank. Okay, so there's a couple of ways we could do this. It all depends on you as a crafter and what's easier for you. So I want to stamp this lady's head in this hole. So I could pop this down like so, and I could pop it in my Eureka, and I could stamp within that hole, and then when I remove it, I know that she's going to fit seamlessly within that outline die. Okay. Or if you're not the most confident in stamping and doing it that way, you can stamp onto this piece and then sit it back in, and you know it's going to be in place. Which shall we do? Tell you what, let's go with this one here, because this is the easy option. So let's go with the more difficult option. And then you know whichever's going to work for you at home, which one you want to try. So you don't have to do it just with this stamp, you can do this with many stamps, remember that. So it's more about the technique than it is what it's going to look like really. So I'm just going to pop my card into here. I'm going to hold it in place. Sorry, I'm not going to hold it in place. I'm going to pop my in place in exactly how I'm going to mat and layer it. So I'm going to make sure it's absolutely straight on my mat and layers. I'm going to hold that in place like so, so I can see what's going on here. So if you were to do like a black silhouette with your blending brush in there, you could have like a really dark silhouette of a lady's head. That would be absolutely beautiful. But I am going to keep it quite simple today, but I do encourage somebody to do that because I think it would look amazing. So, and then I'm going to grab my head, I'm just going to sit it in the recess of there, look. So I can see the lovely outline, and I can just pop it inside, make sure it's sat within there. I'm just going to lean in and just make sure I'm not going to hit the side of my cardstock, so it's all nice and tidy and neat. No, I think we'll go with that one. So, and then I'm going to pick up the stamp. I'm just going to ink this one straight in black. And give that a good push into that hole. That prints that lovely lady within that hole. And when you remove your outline, you know she's going to be in exactly the right place for us to go and dress her, should we say. So let's just set that aside for now. Just take the stamp and pop it back. So let's just grab a piece of scrap card, and what we're going to do is we're going to create some depth on this piece of white card where we've got our lovely aperture. Okay, let's just pop it on here, look. So I'm just going to put a bit of colour around the edge. Now if you're a clean kind of card maker and don't like fuss, I think they call them clean cast cards, clean and simple, then you don't have to do this, but I'm just going to try and create a bit of depth on the card at a very light depth. So I have Generation Inks Fuchsia 03, and what I'm going to do is I'm just going to blend some of the ink around this corner. I'll just grab a different piece of cardstock because that blue has got a big crease in the middle and it'll probably ruin my work. So just pop this on here like so. So I'm just going to pick up some of this ink, and then what I'm going to do is I'm going to rub it onto here first, get rid of the excess. I want it to be really, really light, so I'm getting rid of most of the colour on there, you can see. And then all I'm going to do is lightly dust onto here, so I just get a little bit of pink on that edge, and take the excess off and then rub it onto my artwork. Now you won't be able to see much of it until we lay it onto our card, but you can make it as dark or as light as you want. So it's just giving that lovely pink hue. So I'm going to go round once, giving it a light, like a light dusting, and then on the corner elements I'm just going to add a bit more colour just to give it that little bit of pow, should we say, just a little bit more than I would traditionally. So I'm just going all the way around. And can you see that there? I'll just pop it on there for you. Can you see how it's just like created a little bit of a shadow? Now I want these corners to be a little bit darker, so I'm just going to pop some colour, and I'm just going to be a little bit more daring. Just add a bit more on those corners. I think I'm happy with that one. So you can see that I've got this like beautiful hue around. So I'll just move this one out of the way. So we need to get some pads on this one. So I'm just going to pop some pads in and around. As close as I can, so you can't really see them, but close as I can so my card's not going to sink. we'll just go with that for now. So I'll just remove the backing on there. I'm just going to bring our card back in, and then I'm just going to create the halo around her head. So best I can. Make sure it's, so I know if I just concentrate on the matte and layer element, you know, the piece that goes around here, I know it's going to be straight because that's how we cut it out, isn't it? So you can see there, you can see underneath. Now if you wanted to pop a piece of acetate in there, make it into a shaker card, you could also do that as well. So now you could colour that as well, you could colour her flowers, you could really go to town with it if you wanted to. Time's limited here, so ahead of time, the flowers which come within the set, which is these ones here, I've stamped, heat embossed them in gold, and I've added some pencil colour, my Hemi watercolour pencils. I haven't used water though, I just used them as a traditional pencil. So what I wanted to do here was I wanted to create a little bit of decorative element. I also, ahead of time, cut these lovely, these are one of my favourites, these ones, because they're beautiful for card fillers, and I just cut them out in white. So I've got 2 of each I think there, and if we need more I will cut more, but I think we're good to go really. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to pinch the edges of here. Now to keep it all in colour theme, if you wanted to, you could have heat embossed the lady's head so it all matches, but I just felt like the flowers, I wanted the flowers to be extra special and sort of like her be pushed into the background. So I'm just giving these flowers a little bit of a shape. So there's a couple of things we could do. We could sort of like still go ahead and 3D them in a hair, but if we do that, we're sort of like losing the detail as to why have we done this if we're maybe going to hide it here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to create a bit of an embellishment on the corner, and you'll soon see why. We can still add the beautiful jewel to her ear. We could add some lipstick to her lips as well if we wanted to, and you could add some shine to her hair just with your Gossip Sparkle pen if you wanted to. So I'm just pinching each corner of here. So before I go ahead and stick anything down, I always try and visualize what I'm going to put together. So let's have a look at what we're going to, our bouquet here. So I'm going to do alternate with these, and I'm not scared to hide a little bit of that work there, so we'll go with that. Maybe pop one of those in there too. Can we see? And then we can go ahead and use our gel, maybe take it up a little bit. I've done some so we can maybe 3D. So we can see how this is coming together. Maybe make those a little bit shorter. Now you could do white and white, they're getting lost a little bit, so let's add some colour and then we'll get this one built up. So I'm just going to get that piece of cardstock back here, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to use, if I've got one to hand, which I should have because I've got every colour under the sun on this table. Just going to add some colour to these. So we'll go with the pink, and because we've got yellow in our flowers as well, we'll go with the Orange Yellow 04, just to keep it all together. So I'm just going to pick up some of the pink. I'm just going to brush the edges just lightly, because albeit it doesn't look like there's a lot of colour on them there, when you put them against the white cardstock they will look quite bright. So, and it's always easier to go light first and then build on it rather than go really dark, because obviously you can't take it away, but you can always add to. So, and these ones will go with the yellow. And this one too. So I'm not being over careful as to, I would like it to look a little bit natural, so I'm not trying to colour it and make it all even. Just absolutely going for it. So, and have we got another one going on? There we go, it's hiding. Go pink on this one. Right, I'm just grabbing some 3D glue, she says. I have lots of it somewhere. And I'm just going to build up these lovely flowers. So let's bring the lady back into shot. And let's get this built up. So, can we see how now that doesn't look as stark with the white? It looks a lot easier on the eye, doesn't it? So I'm going to go ahead and use my pin flare to stick the foliage down. So because I'm using, it's called the bookbinding glue, it gives me the opportunity to wiggle it round a little bit if I haven't quite got it right. So I'm going to make my little embellishment a little bit smaller. So you can chop them down if you want to, but I just sit them all on top like so. Can we see that there? And then before I add the other elements that we've coloured, I always sit my flowers on first. So let's go ahead and lay this big one. So this is going to be our focal point. There we go. And then let's build some little ones around. So creating dimension by tucking that one under this makes it look less flat. So always try and build your layers like all different levels, because it really does give a realistic look, if you can. I know sometimes building cards up can be quite scary though in the same breath, so. I'm just going to pop this one behind this flourish here. And it looks like it's creeping right up this end of my card. Just pull it out a little bit so you can see it. Pop another one on top of there to create some dimension. And then with this one, I've just had an idea. I'm just going to try and flatten that one flat. So to keep it all in keeping with each other, why don't we stick this one on a hair in there and it'll tie it all together. So let's pop some glue behind here. I'm going to stick this one flat though. So it looks like we've actually coloured it on a hair. So let's just see which way it needs to be. So I'm just going to pop this one back into that recess there. And it will look like we've coloured that one to tie in. Can we see there? So it's all coming together. And then these lovely embellishments here, which have got the yellow one, I'm just going to use little parts of it. So I'm just going to take some of the tiny parts and just fill out. And what this specific one does, it's got the lovely buds on there. You know, the round buds. So this gives you the opportunity to put some diamantes on. And obviously this lady loves diamantes. So I'm just going to tuck that one under there. Pop a little feather in too. Now if you did get this set, these feathers would look gorgeous in a hair. You know, if you wanted to put some embellishments in a hair, could do that too. It's all coming back to me now. See, 5 minutes of crafting and I'm already having lots of fun. But that is exactly what it's all about. So I'm just going to pop this one under here if it'll let me. Chop a bit off that one. So just got a little bit peeking out there. There we go. So let's get this lady all blinged up. So we have some fabulous jewels. I'm going to pop a clear one on her ear because it looks like a diamond. And I'm also going to pop some in and around and on those little embellishments what we've just coloured slightly. Some bigger ones too. And just maybe a few more. I always like to put my embellishments so you can see them just underneath, so you can't see it all, but it just, you know, you've still made the effort and put all that bling on even though you're willing to hide half of it. I think I'll leave that as is. It just needs a sentiment. So I'll just show you that up close so you can see the dimension there and how sparkly those flowers are. So if you would have done her in gold embossing, so maybe if you stamped it out in black and you didn't like it, you know, this piece that we cut out here, do it again in gold and just sit it on top. It's not a mistake. You know, you can try both, see which works, one in the gold, one in the black, silver, any colours you want to put. You could just pop, I'm just going to slot a little sentiment down this area here for photography, for Facebook, and then we're good to go really. So it's just an alternative way of maybe using this beautiful birthday stamp set. What I will say is if you do use acetate and put some shaker bits behind, it'd make a beautiful teenager card. So it's not just about your, you know, your older family. You know, we could absolutely bling this up to the nines and make it perfect for teenagers and young lovely ladies. So I'm going to set this one aside and we'll move on to our second one. So the second one then. So for this one, I've gone ahead of time already and I've got a top folding note card. Let's just tidy up a little bit, hey. It quickly gets out of hand on here. So, top folding note card then, and I've got the lovely purple Essentials glitter card, and then I've got our beautiful papers from Tell Me a Story. I had to think about that one. Tell Me a Story, and it's got this beautiful like watercoloured image on here. What we're going to do is we're going to use the lady again, but in sort of a different way. So let's get her stamped first of all, and this time I'm just going to grab the Eureka. So it would be easy just to stamp her, die cut her out, and then stick her straight in the centre of the card. You can do that if you want to. If that's your kind of card, you can do that. But if you look through your stash, the amount of stuff that you've purchased from myself, other companies, other brands, you know, you will probably find that a lot of them work together, albeit I am very mindful when I am creating my collections that everything works together. But you know, if I'm using a heart shape or a rectangular shape, you'll have a square in your stash. It's guaranteed, isn't it? If you're anything like me, you'll have them all. So let's heat emboss this lovely lady. So I'm using an anti-static bag. That's the ink from my last time I used the lady, but it's okay. So anti-static bag, and I'm going to be using a Versamark ink pad. This is a sticky ink pad. This is for your heat embossing. This is available on the website, but you've probably already got it. Oh, it's been one of those days today, hey. And let's heat emboss in a different colour for a change, hey? Let's go metallic. Metallic sparkle. Right, let's do that. So let's ink up the lady. So lots of light taps all over. Now we did a heat embosser on Monday, but we did it in white, so it was a black and white card. So this will look a little bit different, I think. Yep, that should be fine. So I'll just move these out of the way. Just pop some see how sparkly that is. So if you do like your heat embossing, this is a brilliant technique. I know a lot of you already do like your heat embossing though. So what we're going to do is we'll just get this one heat set and then we'll die cut her out. So I'm going to get my gun hot. As soon as I think my gun is hot enough, 30 seconds I would say. 30 seconds, I'll try and tilt it so you can see the change. And as soon as you put your gun on, the powder should change. Hopefully you can see that. But it's gone from like a dull sparkle to a super bright sparkle. You can see all that lovely detail in her hair. There we go. Once the powder's changed, it's done. Don't overbake it, 'cause it'll just tarnish and then brush off. So there we go. See how lovely that is. So let's cut this lady out. So I'm going to pop it on my plate. I'm using my cut and emboss again, and we'll just set it round. You get the lovely 1mm border around, so if you don't quite line it up or you're a little bit offset, it still works, don't worry about it. I'll just run this one through quickly. Just move everything around. So you will have seen yesterday that I let you all know that we've been nominated for the Crafts Beautiful Awards 2019. We've actually been nominated for 5 categories, which is superb really. We have gone from never being shortlisted to being in 5 categories. Is absolutely amazing for us here at Stamps by Me. So if you have taken the time to vote, whether it be for me or another company, all I'm saying is thank you. The craft awards do mean so much to us as crafters and crafting companies. It's the encouragement we need to keep going as we are, and you know, it's a little bit of recognition for our work as well. And you know, we wouldn't be here without you guys at home, so if you have voted, I am actually saying thank you very much. And if you haven't, I do encourage you to go on, because if you're not voting for me, that's fine, but there'll be some good old favourites on there that you probably follow week in and week out, and you can just give them a quick vote, and then we'll see what happens in November. I'm super excited about it. See that there? That is just beautiful in itself, isn't it? So you could glue that onto some glitter card if you wanted to and do an outline, just fussy cut round. It's not a difficult one, is this one. So with that in mind, I have die cut. Let me just find the envelope so I can just show you. Don't know what I've done with it now. So our geo frames, our heart, oh, it's here. So this one. So we're going to incorporate this lovely heart, and what I've done is ahead of time is I've cut it out of the pink blush glitter card, essential glitter card we launched last week. So what we're going to do is we're sort of like going to make it look like she's looking through the heart. So with those dies, they create instant dimension really, with little to no effort. That's why I love them. I use them quite often. So with this one, I'm going to stick it absolutely flat, and you're probably thinking it's getting lost a little bit, but that's okay because the focus is going to be the head. So the embossing powder I've just used on that one is, let's just have a look. It's the, can we see that there? It's the Wow embossing powder, and it's metallic platinum sparkle. So this is like a sparkly silver. They also do it in a metallic finish too. So it's preference really. So with the heart then, I am going to stick it flat. So a little bit of glue. I'm just going to stick it up here on the top right. So you could 3D it if you wanted to, and I probably would have actually done that, but the time to pop the pads behind there is time we don't have when I'm live, unfortunately, but you know, you can chop and change as you wish at home. So with the lady, I'm going to pop a pad behind her. Let's have a look what's going on with some, see if we've got some pads. Need to get an order in with Create and Craft. I'm missing out on loads of pads. Tim's actually looking at me as if to say, do you not spend enough money with Create and Craft? So I'm just popping a few of these little ones behind for now. And then what we're going to do is we're going to decorate her hair, but we're not going to decorate her hair with the flowers in the set. We're going to decorate her hair with the flowers that come within your Tell Me a Story paper collection. So I'm just going to set her just slightly in, so she's actually in the image there, can you see, but not covering the whole of our heart. She's offset. Now if you wanted to, you could coordinate the flowers, but I just want to chop it up a little bit because over the course of Monday and today all I've done is use the flowers in the set. But what I want to show you is the paper pad has lovely embellishments in there which you could create your own bouquet in her hair. You don't have to use the embellishments that come within the stamp set, you know, sometimes thinking outside the box. So this is the paper, the 8x8. I use the 8x8 because the pictures are smaller, which is in keeping with the size of the lady's head. And I just fussy cut some of the elements out. So I went ahead and fussy cut this flower here and another one here. So I'm just going to give them a little bit of a, what should we say, a scrumple, a squeeze, a nip, so it creates dimension. And again, before I do anything, I am going to make sure it looks okay before I go ahead with my glue. And so let's go ahead and create something for her hair. So let's give that a good old pinch. So I'm just going to pop this up here. So it looks like a pixie now. And then we'll pop this one down here. So get that end to come up really. So that'll stick flat. And then what happens is how you build, it looks like you've got flowers coming behind, so that you're not really doing anything, you know, out of the... And then we've got a lovely petal here. And then we've got another leaf here. You could just stick this one on top if you wanted to. Can we see how it's all coming together? So let's go ahead and sort of get something going on. So I'd maybe make it a little bit smaller so you can trim into your leaves and your petals and things. So let's go ahead and make this a little bit smaller because the flower's just taking over a whole head. back in actually, because that looks okay. And then we'll pop this one. So I'm going to stick this one flat, but then the second one I'm going to put on a pad. So it just gives it a little bit of dimension. Just grab a pad for this one. See, I've created a bouquet in a hair there. Look at the dimension on that. Oh, it looks fabulous, doesn't it? So you could use your sparkle pens, really go to town, use your ball tool, get some extra dimension in a hair. And then to finish that, I would absolutely go to town on embellishing this lady. So we have our new Fleck Tear range in the gems, whole host of colours. I'm not going to go through every single one, but they are actually on the website, so you know, go and have a look. So I'm going to go with the silver, because we've done the lady in the silver, and it'll just be in keeping with. They are self-adhesive and they are beautiful. They are like crystals, absolutely gorgeous. And then I'm just gonna, let's just pop her neck up a little bit so it does look like she's raised. And then I'm just going to pop some bling in and around. Not too much. And again, half in, so you can just see half under there. And then you could pop a sentiment in, you could colour a hair, you could do all the other things you wanted to do. So that's it for today's studio. I hope you've enjoyed it, and I hope I've inspired you to maybe try something a little bit different. Or maybe you've gone, oh, I wouldn't have thought of that. Then I'm doing my job. So 2 totally different cards. I'm going to pop a lovely sentiment on this one. I'm not sure which is my favourite. You'll have to let me know which is your favourite, guys, at home, and if it's something you're going to try. Because you know what? Sometimes you guys do actually surprise me. I think, oh, I absolutely adore that card. And then everybody says, I love the black and white one. I'm like, oh, maybe I just don't know. So, but anyway, it's encouragement, and we're all different as crafters. Never try and be like anybody else. Promise me that. So whatever you're doing, have a lovely evening. Don't forget Facebook Live Friday at 1 o'clock, showcasing some brand new products. You should have this lovely stamp set by that time. So I will speak to you all later. Take care, everyone. Bye.